Welcome, friends and yogis. Today's class will be a short, um, soft movement to fierce movement, a little Sunday morning wake up class. So begin finding either a comfortable seat or coming right to your back on your mat. And then close your eyes down if that's comfortable for you, or take your gaze downward, resting your hands on your thighs if you're sitting, or in your lap. If you're lying down, you can rest your arms alongside your body. We'll just take a few minutes to settle and to come into our bodies in a deeper way. Really, this practice of yoga is about having a deeper conversation with our body, with ourselves, the body being our temple, and where we store memories, experiences, emotion, energy. So just bring your gaze internally to the commonly referred term of your heart space. What's important to you this morning? What really matters? In order to help us have that deeper conversation, it's helpful to have our outer body, the gross body, aligned. So sit up tall and draw the lumbar spine, the lower back in, and feel for a lengthening through your spine and ease in your breathing. Soften the jaw, the eyes, and shoulder tops. Let the shoulder tops soften. Now, here you might follow your breath, inhaling through your nostrils and exhaling through the nostrils. And as you continue to breathe, can you lengthen both the inhale and the exhale without any overdoing? Keep dropping into the weight of your bones, the weight of your sitting bones if you're sitting, your legs, the weight of your back body on the floor if you're lying. And at the same time, feel buoyancy through your heart. And then you could just turn the corners of your mouth up slightly, inviting a smile there. Now from here, as gently as possible, come to your back in Supta Tadasana. So legs are straight out and the feet are in the Tadasana feet. So pull your toes back towards your shins and engage the legs. Take the arms out to the side, palms up. If at any time the position of your hands or your arms, you need to change that position, you could go to the goalpost, arms, or you could even bring your hands behind your head if that was more comfortable. But press into the back of your head slightly and tuck your shoulder blades under. And then here, with the toes pulled back towards the shins, just press through one heel and feel how that same hip slips down towards the lower end of your mat, and then release and then press through the other heel. Maybe you like your arms out into a T as you continue pressing through one heel and allowing the hip to slip down, and then the other heel. Just waking up the pelvis. And sometimes, especially early in the morning when we practice, if we could observe an animal waking up in the morning, your cat, your dog, your bunny rabbit, uh, they just really have this look of delighting in this stretch. So delight in this early morning or beginning of practice stretch here. And now reach your arms overhead. Any degree of width is fine. And as you press through one heel, reach the same arm away. And then release and press through the opposite heel, reach that arm away. Just move back and forth in this little pattern, opening the side body. And when you've done an even number of repetitions, come back to the center. Release your arms now to the goalpost position and take your right foot over to the right corner of your mat and line your left foot up right beside it, or drape the left ankle over the right ankle. And feel how this begins to open the left hip. Here you could interlace your hands and take them behind your head and slide left elbow back. 2 full breaths here. And slide your head back to center. Release the cross of your legs. Take your left foot over to the left corner of your mat. Right foot right beside it. Keep that right hip down. If it's works in your body, you can stack your right ankle over your left ankle, and then slide your right elbow back behind you. Feel an opening through the right rib basket, right side waist, right hip, and at the same time, there's a contraction on the left side. And then come back to center, release both legs back to the Tadasana, arms back in Tadasana position. And just take one breath cycle. And now bend your knees, place the soles of your feet to the floor, as wide as your mat. Arms can be now back out to the T position, and just let your knees move softly back and forth. As you move to one side, opposite hip will lift off the floor slightly. Really let the one leg really in swing, come in towards and across midline as the other knee moves out. Feeling into the movement, this movement of the pelvis. and how this feels in your body this morning. And then the next time your knees fall over to the right, extend your left arm up, pinky towards the ceiling. Now your arm might not be fully on the floor, but feel an opening in the inside seam of your arm, left side body, left hip. You could even take your gaze to that hand if that worked in your neck. And as you inhale back to center, release your arm back to its original position, knees back up towards the ceiling. And drop your knees to the left, extend your right arm up, pinky facing the ceiling so you're on the knife edge of your sort of index finger, and then maybe your gaze to that right hand. And then just take that pattern a couple more times. Knees go in one direction, opposite arm reaches up. Come back to center and the other direction. And then we'll come back to the center position. Take your hands out to the T, arms in the T, palms down. And here you could rest your knees together if that was comfortable for you. And just do some internal and external rotation in the shoulders. So as you lift the hands, palms facing towards your feet and then towards the ceiling, and then maybe you can rotate the palms back towards the back of your space behind your head. Arms might pick up off the floor here, probably will. And then come back to internal rotation, so palms all the way back down to the floor. And maybe even thumb into the floor and the backs of the hands pointing down towards the bottom of your mat, towards where your feet are. And then just take that a couple times. So external rotation, internal rotation. What's nice about beginning some of these movements on the floor is that we really get to feel the actions that are happening in our body. Action of the shoulders here as we have full contact with the floor. And then you can release that and just stack your knees over your hips. If you had a block here, you could take the block between your legs and squeeze the block. Either the full length of the block, squeezing here, and interlace your hands behind your head. Just a few yogi sit-ups here, waking up the core. So on your next exhale, just for now, squeeze the block and bring your elbows in towards one another. Draw your navel up and in like an upstroke of a paintbrush. Inhale, open the elbows. Exhale, squeeze the elbows, squeeze the block, and draw the navel up and in. Inhale. On your next exhale, as you squeeze the elbows together, lift the head and shoulders. Inhale, open, press elbows into the floor. Exhale, squeeze the elbows together, lift the shoulders off the floor. If you can get the whole shoulder blade off the floor, that'd be great. And inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Try not to pull on your neck. Allow your head to rest in your hands. Let the action come from the deep core, from the squeezing, gathering in at the core. If you were ready and wanted to make this a little bit fiercer, you could pull the feet away from midline a little bit or from the hips a little bit. So you had a little bit bigger angle there, more obtuse angle, feeling the transverse abdominis now coming on. And let's just take 3 more. And release your arms to the floor, release the block out to the side. You draw the knees in here just momentarily. Feel the heat in your body that you've begun to build. And now take the legs back out, Tadasana, and let that heat just spread through your body. Let the heat spread. So we want it everywhere, not just in the center of our body. And then from here, you're just going to extend one arm and roll over so that you're resting on your side waist, resting on the lower arm. Good. You can begin with this front hand down on the floor just to help you find your balance. Stack your feet in Tadasana and feel for drawing the side of your waist that's next to the floor. Feel for drawing that up towards your midline. And then from here, just lift the top leg 4 inches or so. Holding there, squeezing there, drawing everything from the pubic bone up to the navel in tight and side waist up towards midline. Feet are in Tadasana. You could lift the top arm here too. See how that affects your balance. And any other position or shape you'd like to play with. You could open up the front of your leg. Notice as you work in this shape, if you're overarching the back, can you pull the tailbone down a bit? If you're overarching in the back, keep the body in a nice straight line. And then we'll release that and go to the other side. So establish yourself first. Feel that your body is in as straight line as possible. I like to press the bottom pinky toes into the floor. That helps keep my balance. And then just pull the side waist up. Really feel like you're gathering the side in towards the midline. So the obliques, this is our obliques working. And then lifting the top leg, lifting the top arm. Continue to breathe here. You could test your balance by coming into Vrikasana, the tree pose. Again, on the floor really gives us a lot of feedback into our postures. Release, come to your belly, and make a little pillow with your hands. So stacking your hands, rest your forehead on your hands, reach through one leg and the other, really reach through the legs and get nice and long. Draw the tailbone down, so lengthen the back. Press your pubic bone into the floor. Inhale, press into your forearms and lift. And keep the back of your neck long as you repeat 8 to 10 times, just this baby back bend. Again, this is a wake up routine. It is a Sunday morning in this recording, November 1st. And I woke up early, like many of you probably did, as we set the clocks back. If you feel that you are ready,
You could continue this little pattern, or you could bring your arms alongside your body, palms up towards the ceiling. Lift the head of the humerus, so shoulder tops lift up, and you draw the shoulders towards midline. Lift the hands towards the ceiling. Lift your head and shoulders. And if you want to, squeeze the legs together and lift the legs. Keep the back of your neck long. Feel the heat building. And then as you're ready, just release back down to the little pillow. Bend at the knees. And just softly take your feet back and forth. Windshield wiper motion, releasing any tension in your low back. And now bring your hands right to the low ribs. Press yourself up. Come to all fours. We'll do a few rounds of cat-cow, taking the weight into our fingertips and the ridge, the knuckle ridge of the hand, so it's not all in the wrist. And then on your inhale, draw your chest forward, spread through your tail feathers, reach your gaze up, but keep the back of your neck long. And on your exhale, press into your hands, round your back towards the ceiling, and tuck the tail. And just do a few rounds here in this tabletop position. Articulating through your spine. Now we do this pretty often in class, so can you maybe explore a different way of doing this? Maybe tail leads, head comes last. Tail leads, head comes last. Maybe you add some side movement as you move through your cat-cow. The next time you exhale and press into the hands, round your back, drop your hips back towards your heels. Inhale to come up into the cow shape. And then turn your toes. Exhale, take your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale your knees back to the floor. Come to cow. And exhale, tops of your feet to the floor. Come back into the child's pose. Inhale, bring the hands back towards the knees as you sweep up on your shins. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bow, draw the navel up and in. Reach your arms out in front, child's pose. Inhale, sweep up into the cow shape. Exhale, turn your toes under, press your hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, back to cow. And exhale, child's pose. Inhale, sweep up onto your shins, reach your arms up. Exhale, bow. Inhale, sweep back up to the cow. Exhale, turn your toes under, press your hips back, downward facing dog. Draw the kneecaps up, squeeze the legs. Inhale, knees back, cow position. Exhale, back, hips back into the child's pose. Then now stay here, take your arms up to a T. Ground your right hand into the floor and try to drag your torso to the left. And back to center, ground your left hand into the floor, try to drag your torso to the right. And come back to center, interlace your hands at your sacrum or take opposite wrist or take your shirt. And then as you slowly come up, with your weight coming towards the front edge of your mat. Your weight is really mostly in your knees and shins, but you have a little weight on your head. Reach the arms off your back and then press into your legs as you lift up, 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 up. Take your time. Keep the arms off the back if possible. And then release your arms, hands to hips. You're still on your knees here. If you had a block handy, that would be great. Take it to the front of your mat. So from this kneeling position, pick up your right foot and move it forward. Good. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, come down to either side of the front foot or to a set of blocks or the block in the front. Okay? And then from here, just move through your hips. So coming forward, opening the hip flexor, coming back, saying hello hamstring, back and forth a few times here. And then the next time you're somewhere in the middle, press yourself back up. Both legs make the 90 degrees. Inhale, sweep arms up. And exhale, take your left hand back to your left hamstring and side bend to the left. So it's a heart opener, a back bend, and a side bend. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, right hand to left hamstring. Back bending and side bending to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Bring your hands to your hips or to your front leg. Turn your back toes under. Press up. Reach the arms up, crescent lunge. Feel the heat in your body. You might have to adjust that front foot slightly. Draw the right hip back. Reach the left hamstring towards the ceiling. Inhale the ring fingers towards the ceiling. And exhale, hands down around the front foot. Step back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward onto the knees into the cow position. Exhale, drop your hips back, child's pose. Inhale, sweep the arms up, you're on your knees. And just exhale your hands to your hips. And now take your weight into the right side, right knee, and lift the left foot up and place it forward. Good. Inhale, arms back up. Exhale, hands down around the front foot or a set of blocks. And then just moving through the same two shapes here. Coming forward, moving backwards, opening right hip flexor, left hamstring, and then coming to a halfway position where you can reach up, both legs in 90 degrees. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, right hand to the right hamstring, reaching up and over. Keep the space in your neck, back of the neck long. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, left hand to the right thigh and side bending to the left. As you back bend, inhale, sweep both arms up, and then take your hand to your thigh, your hands to hips, curl the back toes under and press up, crescent lunge. Lift the back hamstring towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach the arms up. Reach the ring fingers towards the ceiling. Exhale your hands down around your front foot. Step back to the downward facing dog. Inhale, knees down, come to the cow. Exhale, Hips back to the child's pose. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, this time tuck your hands to your sacrum, palms out, and come back down, bowing into the child's pose. Inhale, bring your hands forward. Exhale, come all the way forward into sort of a half plank. So chest rests between your hands. Here you could have the toes curled under if you wanted also, and come to full plank. If you're on your knees, either one is fine. Take a few breaths here. On your next inhale, take the hips back, back in downward dog. And then you could here stay in the downward dog for 2 full breaths, squeeze the legs, or bend the elbows towards the floor, creating a little bit more fire in your body. And then from there, we'll walk the feet up to our hands. Inhale to a halfway lift. If you still have your block there, you could use the block here. Line up the back of your head with the back of your sacrum. Exhale to fold. Press into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up. And exhale, release your hands through heart center, coming into the Tadasana. Very nice. And then heel toe the feet apart, or step the feet apart, and just moving through your hips slightly. We'll come down into a squat. Pressing knees against elbows, elbows against knees. And then reach the hands forward. Counterbalance as you set the hips down. You could take your hands behind your thighs here, or keep the hands forward as you sort of release into an Ardha Navasana, half boat, and then all the way to the floor. Coming back down to your back. Draw knees in and take a twist to the left. And draw knees in and take a twist to the right. These can be up at the ceiling or to the opposite hand. Draw knees in. Here you could take a happy baby variation. I just have my arms underneath my knees, clasping opposite wrist. Release your hips down to the floor. Release your hips down to the floor. And anything else you need before you come into the Shavasana. Preparing the body for movement, for experience, for interaction and connection with other people. Have a blessed day. Namaste.